Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there. Look, up in the sky, what is that? It's a bird, it's a plane, it's an electric space mullet. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Electric Mullet, a Superman podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is, well, Superman's number one pal. It is Superman's pal.
Hey guys, it's Tyler. I am back. I had to take a little time off, but I am back.
And, whoa, justice for the raccoon. Okay. It is the space owl himself.
Yes, swooping back into Metropolis and beyond.
To Metropolis and beyond.
And my justice for the raccoon refers to the poor raccoon that Morgan Edge ran over.
Oh, yes.
In one of the issues that we're talking about tonight. I thought, oh my God, why?
I have a funny story for you guys. So in Phil's assignment, Phil put Exodus 2, right? Meaning this is the second episode of Exodus, right?
That's
how I
Exile.
Yeah, my bad. Exile. It took me too long to realize that that's what he meant as I searched for Exile number 2.
Oh, the actual issue. Oh,
yeah. So I was like,
right.
wait, and then it dawned on me, like, dang it, Tyler, you dumb. I was just tired last night, and I was like reading to help wind down, and I was like, that's what.
Whoops. Yeah.
I was like, all right, well played, Phil. Well played.
Well, and then half of what we're gonna. It seems like almost half of what we're gonna do tonight is not even gonna be Superman. It's gonna be Lex.
I know. I have comments about that.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Yeah, Phil's like, hey,
we're going in order,
Lex.
pretty much. I can just go with what they give us.
He's like, hey, it's not me. It's not like I'm taking your grandma's stuff over to my house.
Exactly.
Especially that.
I try to find a way to reference Sandler movies and everything.
Especially that issue 31.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is like we're doing this, and as I'm looking at some of these covers, like the upcoming one, not one that we did for this, but next time, I remember those covers. I had some of these issues in the giant box of comics my aunt and uncle had bought me for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
There are certain ones I remember the covers and be like, what the?
Yeah.
And it's this gladiator Superman that I was like, what? You know, as a child, like I had, because, you know, I haven't kept up with all the comics and stuff, but like just seeing that gladiator Superman, like, what is this?
Oh, yes. I had the same reaction, but
completely different.
Justin, I think you had a different reaction than Gladiator Superman.
Yeah. Listen, I was 12 years old when this came out. I bought it off the newsstands, and I am not ashamed to admit that this definitely had a part of my awakening. Seeing Superman with that beard and that loincloth, let me tell you, I was mesmerized.
Man, he was changing in that one issue. I was like, damn, he's going full commando, isn't he?
Yeah, she's stripping all the clothes off him. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, well, I guess I like guys now.
Justin's going, no. Justin's like, oh, Man of Steel, there. Although you gotta have to figure, Justin, when's the last time he took a shower?
That's true. He's been drifting around in space for a while. That man's got to be a little rank.
But that's the thing about Superman. He doesn't need to shower.
That's true.
That's true.
In
he
space,
just needs solar rays.
And in space, no one can hear you smell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Obviously, Phil. Duh.
All right, so we ready to jump into the first one here?
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Which one are we doing first?
Adventures of Superman 453. Which, and again, kids, if you remember last time when me and Justin were started part one of this, where we left Superman is we saw he got a small hole in his air hose there. So
Yes, it was powerful enough to withstand him flying pretty much through the corona of a sun.
Yes,
and withstand all kinds of other abuse,
like stomach acid or whatever.
Oh, stomach acid, that creature, yeah, and all that combat that he went through. But what was it? A meteor blowing up in his face or something?
It was like a meteor shower. Yeah.
Yeah, that was enough to do.
Like we said, I think it was the combined, just beating that thing was taken.
Well, yeah.
All right, so yeah, Adventures of Superman 453 is where we'll start today. April 1989, Apparitions. Writer, penciler, and inker Jerry Ordway.
Triple threat.
He was a busy man.
That's right. Glenn Whitmore, colorist, letterer Albert de Guzman, and editors Mike Carlin and Renee Witterstatter. With his oxygen supply rapidly depleting, which we just said why, Superman is again haunted by nightmares about the Kryptonian criminals he killed in the Pocket Universe. When the nightmare ends, he ends up floating unconscious and defenseless in the void of space. A spaceship appears and abducts him. Meanwhile, on Earth, Matrix transforms into Clark Kent's doppelganger. And then, of course, and also in this issue, Lex Luthor continues his attempted takeover of Star Labs. Thoughts?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of the whole Exile thing. I missed a little bit catching up with you guys, just because I felt really weird about the whole why he killed the Kryptonians and why he now put himself in exile. But it was interesting with the Matrix storyline, with we see Matrix as this old person shifting into Clark. It was just very interesting. The Matrix thing is so interesting, period. And just, is there any other comic book characters that have had more convolution in their history than Supergirl?
Hawkman?
I feel like
Power Girl.
I think but Power Girl kind of ties to the Supergirl confusion.
Yeah, totally.
So I feel like those two for sure. And there's another one that I'm thinking
Huntress.
of. Yeah. But it's so interesting just the way this book works with the Superman story being very small.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then the next issue we'll get to, he's not even in at all.
But, I know. Yeah. And that's a complaint that I have, because I mentioned this on the last time. I felt like this was a missed opportunity when they did the Action Comics Weekly thing. Instead of doing that, they should have put the Lex Luthor stuff, all of the gangbuster stuff with Professor Hamilton, all the Star Lab stuff, put that in Action Comics and have that be a full issue of just all that stuff going on. And then in Superman and Adventures of Superman, focus on Superman in space. In this next episode they're going to talk about with Mr. Mxyzptlk, it's a Superman issue that we don't even see him in. And that could have been a whole other issue of Superman in space. We could have had a whole issue of him on the ship, interacting with the weird aliens on there and going through all this. He could have had all these conversations with these weird ass aliens and found out all these back histories of them. It could have been a whole thing. And then they could have put the mystery. And I actually that was my first time reading that one, believe it or not, the Superman issue that we're going to talk about next. And I liked it. I thought it was great, but I thought that it would have fit better over in Action Comics instead of in a Superman story.
Yeah, because you're completely right, Justin. Because again, the whole Action Comics Weekly thing was supposed to be the 50th anniversary celebration of Action Comics #1 and Superman and everything. It's So yeah, like you said, in these two books, do Exile, and then in those, do everyone else in Metropolis, Lex,
Right.
Gangbuster. You could do the major crimes unit. You could do a Daily Planet story if you know.
Maggie Sawyer. They could have had a whole thing with Maggie Sawyer's unit and all that stuff. Turpin, all those people, and then they could have had a Team Luthor. They could have had a whole issue just on Team Luthor and
Bibbo,
these people. Bibbo. There's so many things, and they could have done a backup story in each Action Comics issue with a different hero, like Wild Dog or one of those other ones that they put in there. Yeah, that's my really big gripe about this time period with this stuff, is that they kind of mismanaged.
Yeah, because they really could have gotten into more like the trauma he was going through. And again, Tyler, we even mentioned last time, it's so weird. He doesn't mention anyone besides his parents. He's leaving Earth. Don't say anything to like the Justice League or anybody. Be like, oh, hey, I'm leaving Earth.
Yeah, exactly. Not even a Martian Manhunter, like who he knows could keep a secret. Or out of anybody, he knows he can trust that man with that secret.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what their relationship's like at this point, but we've seen him interact with Batman at this point.
Yeah. And I don't like this whole conceit of him leaving.
Tyler, don't turn around.
Oh
no. Oh no. What is it this time?
It's an ambush.
Speaking of Supergirl, don't turn around.
Oh.
She was there.
I know she is. She's hiding. She's hilarious.
She's like,
yeah, she's hilarious.
But I thought it was. I mean, hi, Sayla.
Hello. Yeah, it was a good issue. I like this one. I mean, I really like the artwork. Anytime that Jay Ordway inks his own stuff,
especially that cover. I love that cover.
I love that whole sequence with him fighting the phantoms of the
first
villains.
Yeah,
so good.
And then what about like the three sides of himself? What you guys
that was tremendous. I loved that. And it totally makes sense that he would have these hallucinations while he's suffering from oxygen deprivation, while floating around out on the middle of space on an asteroid. Like, it totally makes sense that he'd be tripping balls in this situation. Absolutely. But I have to laugh at every time I read this sequence of Matrix transforming. I can't help but think that it looks like Matrix is taking a dump. Like those first couple of panels, like the face, the straining. Like I can't unsee it. When I first read it, I started laughing at it. Every time afterwards, I can't keep it out of my head.
I mean, it's just so weird because I mean, I guess it was like an incredible strain and stuff, and she has still been healing. But I'm like, why didn't she just take her? If she could do this at this point, why didn't she take her Supergirl form before now? It's like,
hey, yeah, I don't know, but I really enjoyed this issue. And then Gangbuster stuff too. I loved it when they were defusing the
they're working on the armor and stuff.
Yeah, that was great.
I love when Jose goes, I'd really like to talk to that guy who's been running around this gangbuster.
Yes, give him a piece of my mind.
Good luck, son.
Yeah,
he's about
I
50 billion miles in that direction.
Yeah, exactly. You got a ways to go. If you got a spaceship, you might be able to reach him in a little while. I love the second gangbuster armor. I
totally forgot I was muted.
No.
I've been sitting here making comments, and I just forgot I was still muted from where I was talking to Sayla.
I thought you were lost in thought.
No, I was sitting there like, I was, and then I looked down, like, dang it. Yeah, I agree with you with the Matrix stuff, and where he, like, the scene where the three Phantom of Lex, Zod, and Brainiac shift. I was agreeing with you guys.
Yeah, it's so good.
But in this, I felt the corporate Lex stuff. I liked it because it just shows the kind of person that Lex is, and it reminded me of like a little bit of like, I thought he was pulling kind of like remember it was Henry Ford who like screwed the stock market over because he was going to put someone in charge, like Ford's stock dropped, and then he and some other people bought it up, and then when Henry Ford stepped back in saying no, he was going to not return the company over to his son, that he was stepping back, the price skyrocketed again. And they had acquired a bunch of stock. when it had dropped. So I thought, Lex is doing something similar to that, where he's messing with everyone, as we see, where he basically says, yeah, I'm pulling out of Star Labs just to turn around, and he has his own plan.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was like an inspiration, because Roger Stern wrote this, and Roger Stern's like a pretty I wouldn't be surprised if he's like that was his inspiration for this story.
I know some history stuff, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Good, son. But yeah, no, when he's facing the three sides of himself, that was very Superman 3 to me. When Clark's facing evil Superman in the junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the best part of that entire movie.
Oh, that is definitely the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part is good.
The greatest Superman movie of all time!
Anybody who can argue, like, we'll talk about that movie, but that
Superman
scene, there's
oh my God, we might have to cover that.
Say.
We don't have to cover that in January around his birthday. Superman
3! We should.
Yeah.
We're going to do another, we're going to kind of do something for it next year. Because I've already done a commentary, but I'm going to try to do some more live watches for the different Superman movies next year.
Nice.
You know what?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Last year when Charlie passed, it was the Friday before Father's Day, and it popped up on my timeline, I think the day later or something. That is the same weekend Superman 3 premiered, what was that, 83 or something?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He passed on the same weekend that thing premiered. I was like, oh my God.
Well, Phil, I mean, just to make it even weirder, if I remember right, it popped up on my thing about Superman 3 came out, and my buddy Brian and I were driving, and I thought to myself, you know what? I have talked about having Charlie come on to defend Superman 3. I'm like, and it reminded me, like, I need to reach out. We need to have him on. And then it was like hours later. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was weird, because I was like, he was on my brain because I was thinking about Superman 3. Like, it's like we gotta do something, because
that's what right after he passed, that's what me and Lilith were talking. I'm like, he's up there bugging Christopher Reeve and Richard Pryor right now about that damn movie.
He's like, guys, it's so good. We're like, let it go.
We made money off that movie. We don't. No, it's great. But yeah, no, I mean, for what it was, this issue was good, but yeah, we're kind of, I don't know if we're killing time. And again, like Justin was saying, if we had more room, maybe we could have given more story to. I mean, we're gonna get the Mongul here soon. I mean, this is the first post-crisis appearance of Mongul.
Yeah, and that seems rather short, doesn't it?
One of Ray's favorites,
in comparison to all this other stuff that's going on, this hostile takeover crap, which I think is boring. It's about as exciting as watching paint dry.
Again, I get that
hostile takeover.
I get that you want to show, look what's happening with Superman not on Earth, but it's like you said, do it somewhere else. Do it in Action Comics, something.
Yeah, or give Lex Luthor his own little mini series or whatever. Yeah. Instead of this backup hostile takeover, which we get 3 parts of. Oh God.
Or
it's interesting, but at the same time, like, you could, I don't know, maybe could have been done differently.
Or do Exile and all the regular Superman books, put the Lex stuff in one spot in the Action Annual.
Yeah. Yes. In the annual.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Although the annual works. The annual is just Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I mean, unless maybe they thought, Lex couldn't carry his own book or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So should we move on to the next one?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to go to Superman 31. Again, no Superman in sight here. All right, so Superman number 31 from May 1989. Mr. Mxyzptlk, in As Good as His Word. Writers, Roger Stern and Tom Payer. Penciler, Paris Cullins. Inker, Dennis Jank. Colors, Glenn Whitmore. Letterer, John Costanza. And editor, Mike Carlin.
You could just... Look... I've had enough, Mixie.
I know this is his third appearance since Christ.
I mean, for this, but just today, period.
Oh,
James and I were wrapping up our look back at the New 52 Action Grant Morrison run.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm so over Fifth Dimensional. beings right now.
I know, and that's not just any fifth dimension. That's Grant Morrison's "I'm high as an
Oh
empty
yeah,
fifth
exactly.
dimension. Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it's probably one of our roughest episodes because me and James are like, we understand this, but we can't really articulate this right now.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah,
like you
right.
just, we're like, listeners, you should just read it for yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Here we got Mr. Mxyzptlk comes back to Metropolis looking for Superman, only to have to confront Lex Luthor instead. And then, of course, we get more Star Lex. Lex tries to avoid. Star Labs tries to avoid being bought by Lex Luthor. So, yes, all Lex all the time in this issue, kids.
Yeah.
All right. So, Justin, you said this was your first time. What did you think?
I initially missed this one because I knew that Superman wasn't in it. I flipped through it on the newsstands. I didn't see him anywhere in there. I was like, I don't really want this one. But in retrospect, I really like it. I love the art of Paris Cullins. He did a bunch of other series that I really enjoyed, like the Blue Beetle one from the 80s. And I really liked the story. I thought it was entertaining enough, I guess. And the part where he turns Team Luthor into Transformers, basically, was really funny.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, you can hear him screaming inside the suit. Like they're all completely contorted, their bones are broken. That's horrifying.
Oh yeah, later they said they all got like spinal damage and stuff. Yeah.
That is horrifying.
Yeah, this is no Silver
I
Age
wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I know.
I was not expecting that.
This Mxy is bloodthirsty. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not messing around.
Excuse me.
And I love, when Mxy comes in as Superman, just like threatening Lex.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps warping and changing.
Yeah, come to more cartoons.
Yeah.
Melts that hand, that metal hand.
Yeah, I thought Paris Cullins was a perfect choice for a Mr. Mxyzptlk appearance. He's got the right art style for that. Yeah.
I mean, Lex just basically asking people, "What's this guy's weakness? Does he have any weakness?"
Yeah. Well, he's bound by his word.
Lex, then I've got him.
Yep. He gets his lawyers out.
But yeah, man, that's some. I mean, Mxy tying two buildings together.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah. Yeah, this was surprising in multiple ways, this issue. Yeah. Yeah.
I know, and it's not even spelling his name backwards. Mxy tells Lex, "Get me to shave my head like you, and I'll leave."
Yeah. That was smart.
He says, "Meet me in a barber shop," and then he makes Mxy sign a contract. It's like, okay, whatever. Then Lex is like, "Yeah, I won't harm you." And he's like, "Nah, I lied," and just tries to shoot him with
Yeah.
And blow him up with napalm and stuff.
I lied. Yeah.
So, yeah, Mxy gets all mad, turns Lex into some kind of big worm, and it basically transforms at least Metropolis, if not the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one, unaffected is one of Lex's guys.
Yeah.
And then Mxy just, he's like, "You know what? I had enough of this. I'm never coming back here again. Never." And then leaves, and so everything turns back to normal.
And you're just kind of like,
only.
Yeah, you're like, what? I don't believe this.
Yeah.
Well, again,
believe
it's
it when I see
it. Lex kind of taught Mxy how to lie. Yeah, this is never going to come back up in at least more than one upcoming story.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I'd say between here and Death of Superman, this is going to come up at least once or twice. Yeah, at least once.
I'm just going to be on the record here. Mxy is one of my least favorite Superman antagonists, just because the stories can get ridiculous. I mean, there are some fun ones, but for the most part,
I like some of the Silver Age ones. Some of the Silver Age ones are fun, like escapist, weird stuff that you can't take too seriously. But I wouldn't want to read those regularly at all.
No.
That's something that you dig out every once in a while, for me anyways.
The only redeeming quality of Mxy, in my opinion, is like he's a foe that Superman can't outmuscle. He has to outthink him.
Right. Yes.
Which yes, that is a great. But just the whole, like you said, the fifth dimension can just sometimes you're just like, oh my god, what's going on?
Right.
You're like, sometimes I just want to read a story, not have to sit down and contemplate life.
So basically, Lex got Mxy angry enough to leave. That's how he beat him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if you wanted to go for the darker take, can you imagine? I mean, eventually when Superman comes back from space and like all of Metropolis is transformed into this.
Yeah, right.
Because that's the
That'd
other
have made an amazing cliffhanger ending for some whatever issue it was.
Again, why didn't you tell anyone to leave? Mxy could show up, which he did.
Right.
Which again, Mxy seems like lazy here. I'm like, couldn't he like locate Superman in space?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not bound by the traditional rules of the universe. Yeah, strange.
That would have been funny. Superman's fighting in the gladiator games. All of a sudden, Mxy just
just shows up out of nowhere. What are you doing out here?
Start messing with Mongul.
That would be the best way of like building up like this big fight, and then you're like, you know what, and we're gonna just take a cheap shot.
Yeah.
And Superman gets out because Mxy saves him.
Yeah.
Because Mxy is like that.
I mean, and I think they did this whole thing with Lex and Mxy just to show, just by luck, Lex defeated quote unquote Mxy by making him mad enough to leave. But I mean, that could have gone horribly wrong. I mean, Metropolis could have been destroyed or stayed like that little insect hive or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the backup when Lex is visiting his poor injured guys in the hospital. Because he cares.
Yeah,
using it as a photo opportunity.
What are you saying? He doesn't care? Like, how does Lex not? Like, all he ever does is care about his people. What do you got? I don't understand you guys. What are you talking about?
And I love the whole Brainiac thing. It's like he wants to use Brainiac, but he doesn't dare let him come out of the sedative. So it's like I want his secrets, but I can't take the chance of like letting him regain consciousness ever.
It's true.
Which that stalemate's gonna run its course in a little bit here.
Yeah.
And then Morgan Edge. Morgan Edge hearing all the rumors about Lex buying Star Labs because the stock's going up. So Morgan Edge is like, yeah, buy Star Labs. He's like, then Lex is gonna have to pay me a boatload of money.
Yeah, it's a great issue of Superman without Superman.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I mean, it's pretty much an all Lex issue. I don't know if they try to trick you with that cover, giant Superman trampling Metropolis, because otherwise, there's not even like a flashback panel. There's nothing.
No,
nothing.
It's just Mxy as Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Like I said, this could have been another issue of him on board the ship, talking to the different aliens and stuff, and getting interrogated by the Mongols warriors and all this stuff. Like,
I'm surprised we didn't get at least a page or two of that. Something.
Something to tease, like, what's coming up.
Yeah, like the last page or two, and then it's like, oh, you want to see more, check out Adventures and whatever, 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all right. Should we jump to the next one?
Yes.
All right. Now we're gonna go back to Adventures of Superman 454. All right. You know what? Damn it! I have been putting the covers up. Damn it!
You know what? It's okay.
I know.
We don't judge you.
Well, there's that last one with the Mxy issue.
Yeah.
Although Mxy, this scene doesn't appear in this issue. Although with me, it could. All right, let's get to this one. Adventures of Superman 454. There you go.
It's probably the most normal issue. Just because, like, you have Superman who's like he's on board this ship, and he's dealing with these aliens. But I'll talk about it in a second.
Looks like he's getting attacked by Ben Grimm on that cover.
Yes.
Right, yeah, it does look like that.
It's clobbering time.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Adventures of Superman 454, May 1989, Wayfarer, and it's the same team from the last Adventures issues. Jerry Ordway doing most of half the work. Yeah, then Glenn Whitmore, Albert de Guzman, and Mike Carlin. All right. Superman is thrown into a cell with a bunch of other alien prisoners. These fellow cellmates jump on him and claim his clothes as prizes. He wakes up and aggressively breaks free from their grasp. Some Guardians interfere to stop the fight and take Superman and another cellmate to be part of War World's gladiator games, bringing them to Mongul's throne room. Meanwhile, in Metropolis, Amanda McCoy calls the police and claims she knows the real name of the victim found in Clark Kent's apartment. Matrix, posing as Clark Kent, runs away from Kansas and visits Metropolis. He is involved in a street fight between Bibbo and some assailants. He runs away from the scene before the police arrive. And of course, more Lex stuff. Lex takes over the lab in Colorado he wanted. So, the Psionics lab.
Yeah, because Lex is a crook and a genius.
Yeah, he's very shrewd.
Oh yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Well, I mean, you have to be a shrewd criminal to make the kind of money he has.
That's true.
But so, like I said, like you have Superman kind of in a regular adventure. He's not floating and hallucinating. He's dealing with creatures, and then you have the Metropolis stuff with Dan Bowler Hat Turpin. Maggie Sawyer looking different again with different hair color and style. Morgan Edge, I totally forgot. Like,
oh yeah, this is
the
the
redhead.
oh yeah, I forgot that. Yes, also a raccoon meets a brutal end in this issue.
Yeah, and I was like with Cat Grant and Adam, and I was watching this or reading this, and I was following, and all of a sudden I was like, oh snap, and he's like thud, and he said, I don't break for your animals, you babies, and I was like, wait, what? I went back and I was like, oh my gosh, that really did happen.
That's harsh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really, we have like Mom and Pa realizing Matrix is gone as Clark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And somehow she's already in Hobbs Bay, in Metropolis, like from the farm. But then
she can kind of simulate Clark's powers, so she can't fly.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. But then Bibbo in his Superman's pal shirt and his belly hanging out. And
I forget. Was this his first appearance?
No. He showed up one of the early adventures.
Yeah, we covered it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But just having Bibbo here, like he's a very unbalanced kind of Bibbo.
Yeah.
Because some drawings he looks thicker and bigger than some. Like he looks like an old Popeye.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then he like he thinks he actually saw Superman.
Oh yeah, because Matrix takes the glasses off. He's like, "It's you."
Yeah. I love that part.
My favorite is he's back, but it's not favorite. It's right.
My favorite.
Favorite.
Yes, FAV.
My favorite.
And then we have, like you said, Superman kneel before Mongul.
Because he's been away from Yellow Sun for too long, so yes, his powers are dwindling.
That's part of why I never really like when Superman goes like off-road into space. So I'm always like, unless you have like solar battery backups, man, like you're a ticking time bomb of depletion until you either are with a yellow sun or something. Like,
yeah,
you're running, because what happens when you go to a planet with a red sun?
But yeah, this is an 80s comic, because like half the cast is like smoking in this issue. Morgan Edge, Maggie Sawyer, Turpin's got a cigar or something in his mouth. I mean, yeah, you don't see that anymore.
One of the aliens is smoking, I think, in the annual.
Yes.
You know what's funny is I don't even notice it, because I was just like, you grew up reading it, and it was
yeah.
Think about it now.
It was
like,
so ubiquitous.
I was reading a thing the other day. They were talking about how when they were making the Batman, the movie, Colin Farrell wanted Penguin to have a cigar, and they fought him so hard not to have it because that could push them to an R rating.
Oh God!
Compared to everything else that's in that movie, him with a cigar, that's what we're afraid of. Because kids, they're just going to see that and be like, "I need to smoke a cigar."
Yeah, you don't. Trust me. All you need to do to discourage kids from smoking cigars is to let them smoke a cigar.
They're like,
yeah. After they puke for a half an hour, they'll be all set.
I'll just sit in a room with someone who smokes. My grandfather used to smoke. And
oh God. Yeah.
Oh, they said I think Henry Cavill got sick off of when his appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, he said that.
He just got the cigar in his mouth for like 8 hours. He was smoking straight for like 8 hours, made him sick.
Oh, that's nasty.
I'd be like, look, with today's digital technology, I'm putting the cigar here. You're just gonna digitally make that thing.
Yes,
I'll do one take with it lit. Then after that, you can just use your digital tech to mimic it. Like
I'm
not gonna have
to do just like 5 takes. That'd take like what 10, 15 minutes.
I was gonna say I know they're gonna take that many takes, but I'm like 8 hours for that one scene.
8 hours. Yeah, they're wasting time. Woo.
They were just like,
Unless they took breaks and he just kept it in there. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions about that. So
Unless he was trying to stay in character. The cavalry.
the cavalry was sweet.
But yeah, I mean, Superman's powers are getting low because I mean they chain him up and he can't break through these chains.
Yeah, they've got the manacles out.
So I think he says, but in the annual, he's like, he's like, if I was fully powered, I'd just be out of here.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
And then we get to the exciting Lex Luthor,
Oh, the thrilling hostile takeover stuff.
where we learn that he screwed Morgan Edge. He screwed everyone.
Big surprise.
He doesn't want Star Labs. Star Labs are so happy. They're like, hallelujah, And then we realize that he fired 2 guys weeks ago who formed a company that were the company that bought the Psionics lab from Star Labs. And so Lex made a crap ton of money off the flipping of the stock.
Yeah, and
he still has.
Yeah, he has the lab because again, Star Labs put out all these extra shares, which after Lex pulled his offer, like tanked it, so Morgan Edge is pissed. But then too, they knew Lex wanted that psionics lab, so Star sold it off. So Lex is like, yeah, I can just buy it now. I can just buy it.
He bought it through a shell company he had previously set up, prepared to buy it, so they wouldn't see him coming.
So what are you guys saying? The kids don't love financial stories?
No, not at all.
This kid didn't.
I know.
They still don't. I don't understand why. Like this was a backup,
and not just one issue. This is like part 3, the third backup of this.
It's so weird because this thing with Superman aboard the ship, like I wanted more of that.
Yeah,
and we could have gotten more with Mongul at the end. Like when I got to the end of the main story, I was like, "That's it." Like that. No, I was not impressed with that.
Unless that's just because they knew they were going to have extra space in the annual.
I guess, but
I
didn't feel like that the hostile takeover mess needed to be a 3-part backup.
Or why all Lex? I mean, we haven't seen Gangbuster since 453. I'm like, why not more Gangbuster?
Or Guardian? What's Guardian doing?
We haven't seen Guardian since Invasion. Come on.
Yeah, what's Guardian doing? What's Project Cadmus doing? Seriously.
We haven't seen Lois a ton in these issues. Where's Lois?
No. Or Jimmy. I would read.
We haven't seen any Daily Planet in these issues we're doing tonight.
I would rather have Jimmy show up and punch Morgan Edge and try to win Cat's affection.
Yeah.
I will read that for 3 issues over.
Yeah. You're my girl, baby.
Yeah, substitute the panel with Morgan Edge running over the raccoon with Jimmy Olsen. Yeah.
Jimmy saves the raccoon and then beats
exactly
Morgan Edge with the raccoon.
Yes.
I think we might have talked about this last time, Justin. Tyler, I want your opinion. Okay. So, I mean, eventually after Exile, it's revealed that Clark's inside source for Intergang is Kat. Because this is why she's with Morgan Edge. She's like trying to get the whole Intergang story. So, since she's around for a while, do you think she had to sleep with him to like keep this going? Or because I mean, I don't see a woman being with Morgan Edge for long, and if she ain't sleeping with him, he's like showing her the door.
I'll say I see Morgan Edge being that kind of person who's just like he gets what he wants, and I think what we see is Morgan Edge thinks he's as powerful and great as Lex Luthor. He gets what he wants, and then we see that he's not. He's just a,
hopped up crime boss.
Yeah, he's not really anything.
I mean, I think he thinks he's greater than Lex. He's getting like weapons and stuff from Apocalypse.
But poor Kat, I feel bad for her.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I feel like she just gets used always.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the other point of this. It's like they want to make it seem like, oh, look at Kat, she's what an idiot. She's with Morgan Edge. Meanwhile, she's trying to get the story. But I was just like,
I'm like, if that's the story, then please make it like really like show us something like.
Yeah, she should get the Pulitzer Prize for that. She's sleeping with Morgan Edge. Oh, yikes! Yeah, that's rough. But yeah, that was the assumption I made as well, that she. Yeah.
I mean, with the way that we've seen the way they've written, especially a lot of that was Byrne, the way he wrote women and stuff that he gave them early on, like with the Lex Luthor tricking the waitress, and Just some of the other stuff that we've seen, like it would not surprise me.
Oh my God! I mean, Tyler, that Swamp Thing issue we did. I mean, Lex. This female head of security, and basically just told her, "My security system's automated. I don't need you. I don't think I need you for is what we just did."
And then the way they did like the Lois, where they were like, stripper, make sure you don't have anything.
Oh right.
Oh yeah, I mean we kind of forgotten that whole plot device with the medicine for her mother. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Or like the second episode we did. That's
right.
See, there's just
Let's get it. He's evil.
Yeah, it's there's evil and then there's evil.
Yeah.
And I just feel for Kat because I feel like she could have been with Jimmy. I'm gonna just keep championing that for fun. I'm just gonna keep everyone like, who do you think Kat Grant with? Jimmy Olsen.
But it's so weird though too, because it's like he was chasing after her. Then the minute she seemed to reciprocate, he's like, "Oh, I have a girlfriend, Lucy."
Yeah. He got scared, man. That confidence, he got put into play. He had to like man up, and he wasn't ready to man up. His mom might tell him what to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wasn't ready for the big leagues. All right. So we get to the annual.
Yeah, that's
finally get to some Superman.
Yes, this is it.
All right. Oh, hold on. I gotta put the cover up. All right. Pay attention, Justin. I know you're gonna be distracted.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right. Action Comics Annual 2 from June 1989. Memories of Krypton's Past. Writers Jerry Ordway, George Perez, and Roger Stearns. It's gonna be good. Pencilers Jerry Ordway, Mike Mignola, and Kurt Swan. Inkers John Statema, George Perez, and Brett Breeding. Colorist Glenn Whitmore. Letterer Bill Oakley, and editors Renee Witterstatter and Mike Carlin. Superman is forced to fight various warriors on Mongul's war world, but he refuses to kill his opponents. Superman advances through the tournament and is finally matched against Draga, Mongul's favorite champion. Meanwhile, a cleric who once preached on Krypton is curious about this last Kryptonian. Doubtful of his real heritage, the cleric mind links with Superman to explore his memories. At the same time, Superman starts seeing the cleric's memories, thus he loses focus in the middle of the battle. The cleric realizes he is a real Kryptonian and claims his prayers have been answered. Superman beats Draga, and after refusing to kill him, he defies Mongul to come down from his throne and face him in a one-on-one battle. All right.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in this one.
Heck yeah. Yeah, because I mean, not only the battle and the whole Mongol thing, but yeah, we're seeing like this Kryptonian history through the cleric, and I'm trying to remember if they mentioned that before or not, but now we know why the Kryptonians didn't evacuate Krypton when it was about to explode.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows, man?
Because they die.
Yeah, all these Kryptonians, they always got something going on.
They were genetically bonded to the planet for some reason, but yes, Jor-El corrected that in Kal-El since he was still an embryo.
Yeah. Which I thought was kind of smart, because if you're going to make him unique and if you're going to make him the only one, which was kind of what they wanted to do with the whole Crisis thing, killing Supergirl and stuff, was making him the sole Kryptonian.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. He was the only Kryptonian, but then they're like, well, we need Zod, and so we'll make a pocket dimension.
Right.
And what about Supergirl? We'll create Matrix.
Yes. Yeah.
That way people can be like, we have our characters and we don't.
Yeah.
He's the last Kryptonian.
Exactly.
It's like they wanted Byrne to come in and reinvent the wheel, but then once he leaves, they're just like, I don't like this wheel. Let's try to make it look more like what we had before.
Isn't that sadly the truth about everything they do?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Again, nothing sticks in comics. I mean, again, one writer can do like a beautiful send off, like a beautiful death for somebody, but then someone just comes along years later and undoes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm speaking specifically. Marvel, you should have left Aunt May dead when JMD Mateus killed her off in Amazing 400. Thank you.
I'm just more looking at Superman. Like they're like, we're gonna put you in this gladiator gear. Basically, you're gonna wear a belt, and that's really it.
Justin, is that you?
But he's like, hold on, let me have my cape back.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, he hollers at her too. He's like, "Give me back my damn cape!" My favorite biscuit.
he's like, Ma says, what is it? Ma said to wear it wherever I go. Okay, but he wears it as a sash.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is a weird like look. Like, just he looks like he's coming out of the Bible. Like he's like going to, like, I'm like, is he fighting Goliath with David? Is that what's up?
I don't know about that. I think if you look at a lot of pictures of gladiator outfits from the Roman era, I think that there's a lot of similarities there.
Oh yeah, totally.
And George Perez came up with the design of this, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got some inspiration from that.
There's not a whole lot of design to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm okay with that, man. We've seen Clark covered up for most of this series, so yeah, little skin's all right.
I love when they mix the coloring up, like on page 15, how all of a sudden his straps are like pink.
Yeah.
And like everything that's like, at first I was like, was it supposed to be a stylistic choice? Because like everything in this panel,
I think it was like a printing error or something.
Yeah. It's like supposed to be gold, like the S in the back. It was cape and everything. It's pink.
Yeah.
But I did think the cleric thing was interesting.
Yeah, I love that.
This very weird looking ape looking cleric thing.
Yeah, and it makes sense that, Krypton would have their share of extraterrestrial visitors from other worlds over the vast history of the world. And that some of them might hang around and try to assert some type of influence over the populace. It totally makes sense.
Yeah, because we kind of already saw that in World of Krypton, like the whole cloning stuff, and Krypton went to war, and the cleric
Civil War. Yeah,
you guys shouldn't clone, but if anyone wants to leave with me, you're more than welcome. And then,
it wasn't like he was trying to make a cult or anything like that. He was just like, well, there's different ways of doing things. Yeah, that's all.
And then, of course, Superman refusing to kill any of these gladiators.
Yeah, I love it. I love the three different art teams as well. You've got three different art teams, and it's seamless. It's not a jarring transition when you go from one to the other, which you think it might be with three different art teams over the course of one story, but it isn't. At least I don't think so. I think it works really well.
Yeah, no, I thought it worked good with this. Yeah, because I wasn't sure about the Kurt Swan, but even he was like he's kind of meshed with the other guys. Oh, and then of course we get our first mention of the Eradicator.
Yes.
Yeah, that
would be a big deal.
The Eradicator, that one thing of Superman's mythos that nobody knows exactly what it is or how it works. So they're like, oh, we'll just use that term. People know what that is. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
It's a person, right? No, it's a light construct. No, it's a machine.
It's a weapon.
Well, it's a machine for now.
It will change, though. It will metamorphose.
The Eradicator, kids, and I'm not talking about Rhea Ripley. There's your WWE joke, kids. And I guess they must like the design because it's even mentioned in the story. Wow, Jor-El must have been influenced by the Eradicator's design when he created Kal-El's ship.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It looks similar.
I also appreciated how in the back of this issue we had some new Who's Who entries.
Oh, yeah, for Matrix and Cat Grant.
Matrix and Cat Grant. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, and I was thinking, because again, we've seen it in the story and it's mentioned on the Who's Who page that, Matrix now has the mind of like a small child. I mean, I guess it's the trauma that she went through, the physical and mental trauma, but I was just like, when that Lex kind of created her, used like Lana as a template, I almost feel like, after at the end of that battle, she kind of lost. It's almost like wiping the computer. She lost all the Lana programming, so now she's like learning to be her own thing.
Yeah.
He, she, whatever.
Matrix.
Oh yeah, and here's the panel that every time they mention the story, it gets shown. It's like him yelling up to Mongul, "I am Superman, and I will not kill."
I love that. Whenever I think about this issue, I think of that scene, that particular panel, and I think, for all intents and purposes, I think this is a perfect Superman story. I mean, if you just open this up without all the other stuff before or after it, as just an annual of this is a story of Superman stranded on War World, being forced to be a gladiator and Mongol thing, it's great. And then you throw in the extra stuff with this ancient secret history of Krypton through the eyes of the cleric with this thing, the Eradicator. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I love the action. You've got these great fights with these other creatures, and I have to laugh at the Monmouth, that thing.
Oh, that elephant
looks like an elephant
looking thing. Yeah, when he broke up into little elephants. Yeah,
there's a town in my state called Monmouth, and it's spelled exactly the same way. And I read this comic book before I even knew that there was a town with that name.
Oh, nice.
So whenever I go through that town now, I'm thinking, oh, it's the alien from the Action Comics annual. I'm driving through it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and Draga is awesome. I love the character of Draga.
And
we'll see a lot more of him. Oh yeah.
We'll see him after this tour again.
He's great.
Yeah.
I have to wonder because he's presenting a head to Mongul at one point. And I've always wondered this. Remember in the previous issue, there was that kind of werewolf-looking creature that was picking fights with Superman, Lupinar, whatever his name was. I always wondered if that was the creature whose head Draga brought to Mongul.
Because it might have been, because didn't they say there was at least one of those guys with Superman that they were also going to send to the game?
Mm-hmm.
So it could
Yeah,
they're like, Superman, like one or two of the other guys were going to the game. The rest of them were just going off to be slaves or something.
Slaves in some mine or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that cleric blames himself for all the Kryptonian deaths, so now he's just like, I guess, lives on this asteroid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how many did he say was on his ship? Like 200,000 or something?
Yeah, it was several thousand, yeah.
Yeah.
And they all died. He couldn't have known that, though.
No.
That they had that life bond to the planet. He couldn't have known that.
They didn't even know that.
Right. Yeah, nobody knew that.
That's like a cruel trick. But also a really neat thing to write, like create.
It is, yeah. It's a cool story.
It's an excuse why they didn't leave the planet when it was about to explode, yeah.
And I was going to say, it's weird that in all the time, in all the history of Krypton, there was never any stories of any explorers who left the planet or tried to colonize other worlds or whatever. Because you think with some of the warlike past,
you think they try to leave the planet. Although, again, I mean, as Jor-El discovers, I'm sure the Council tries to cover it up, cover that up too.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably like that secret history type thing. Like we tried, but we failed.
We failed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
and they don't say why. Yeah.
Because as Superman and the Cleric are going through the memories here, it doesn't Superman even say, it's like, why didn't Jor-El tell me about that part about, all this Kryptonians dying, and some of this stuff was covered up. But no, and again, like you said, I mean, the art's good, the story's good too, but of course it's gonna be, because again, it's Jerry Ordway, George Perez, and Roger Stern. It's like,
I know this is the roster of talent on this issue is immense.
Yeah.
Like I can't get over it still. Just the artists, the writers, the inkers even are amazing. Just all of it.
So I guarantee you, if you say to someone, name your favorite Action Comics annual, this one's probably, I mean.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Definitely my favorite, without a doubt. And not just because he looks hot as hell in it. It's just because I love the story. I think the story is perfect. Like it's a perfect Superman story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If Byrne had still been around, one of these gladiators would have been a woman. You know that, right?
Oh God, yeah. It would look like She-Hulk.
Yes.
Yes.
It would have been She-Hulk. Just they would
totally.
He just would have hit
or
it.
Something.
He would have hit it like shh. Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, it looked exactly like it would have been a different color, like purple or something, or yellow or whatever. Yeah.
Speaking of John Byrne, yes, the new Patreon episode is up now.
All
about John Byrne.
Oh,
request,
yes, love it.
Talk about his Marvel,
uncensored.
Yes, yeah. Even if you spring for the video, we even have examples too. So
okay.
This sounds like a most interesting episode.
Yeah, again, the art wise, I swear this issue was made for Justin. I mean, come on.
Totally. Yeah,
You get,
all
like,
the
Superman
exposed
shots,
leg and
yeah.
the thigh. Yeah, jeez, it's wild.
Yeah.
All right, kids. So, final thoughts on these ones?
Nope.
I was gonna say, Tyler, any thoughts? I know Justin's still staring.
Oh no, I said I made my piece. I said it.
Yeah, no, I love this. I love the whole Exile arc. It's. I knew that reading it at the time, it wasn't going to last forever. I knew that eventually they were going to find a way to bring Superman back to Earth. And I was kind of enjoying the concept of him having no powers and kind of being, or having diminished powers, I should say. And yeah, it was cool. It was a cool diversion. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. There's something different to do, but again, I think our only complaint this time is we could have used more Superman and less Lex.
Definitely. That's my major complaint in this, is that they should have shoved all of that other stuff over to Action Comics and had Adventures and Superman, those two titles, be just Superman in space, doing Superman in space stuff.
Yeah, I think from here on out for their, I mean, really have one more week of Exile, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly Superman. There's maybe a little Metropolis, but yeah, I don't think we get a ton of Lex. And
I think you're right. Yeah, because once Superman meets up with the cleric, then there's a lot of stuff that happens from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, next time we're going to talk again. Like I said, we're going to wrap up Exile next week with Superman 32 and 33, Adventures of Superman 455 and 456, and he's back in Action Comics 643. Action Comics is back to normal.
Good.
That's a big one.
Yes, that's that yellow cover.
Yeah.
With, the oval in the middle. Yeah,
love it.
George Perez cover. Yeah.
I'd like to have a poster of that at some point.
Yes. Yeah. And then of course, you get 3 episodes this month, kids. So yeah, in 2 weeks we'll do Superman 34, Adventures of Superman 457, and Action Comics 644. I know Tyler knows that one.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Just want to stop coughing.
He's choked up from all the action, kids. All right. So yeah, so send us your thoughts on all the upcoming stuff. Send us your thoughts on what we covered tonight. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics social media, merchandise. Get the brand new Capes Lunatics merch, the classic Capes Lunatics merch. And of course, Lilith demands that you... Lilith, a bigger taskmaster than Mongul, demands that you rain the money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Yes, please rain the money on us. Don't make us dance on that pole, or Lex is either going to buy out the club, or Mixie's going to turn us into a slug or something.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And of course, the Patreon. Like I said, the August episode is Lilith and I talking about the career of John Byrne, as we bring back everyone's favorite series, Boob, Windows, and Long Boxes.
That is Phil's favorite.
Hey man, we said John Byrne. I'm like, you know what? If anyone is worthy of that, it is him. God, we got to do some Todd McFarlane too. All right, so yeah, so you can always get all the fun stuff on the Patreon, completely uncensored, and so join the Patreon elite, like our down there.
Join me over there. You get access to all the old stuff too, like the worst superhero movie brackets, which are hugely entertaining.
Yes.
Lilith and I were talking about maybe doing the best superhero movie brackets next year.
Everybody does the best. It's more fun when you're like, let's break it down.
I think they would have some interesting choices, though. I'd like to see. I know their choices wouldn't be everybody's expected.
I was going to say, especially Lilith. Lilith doesn't go along with the crowd.
Right.
All right, but we're going to have to draw straws to see who goes topless, because Charlie's no longer with us.
Yep. That's so. What I'm hearing is I need to be prepared to be getting the email from Phil and Lilith.
I was gonna say,
All
probably
right, guys, I hear you.
You, me, or Justin's probably gonna be topless. So.
I'll run it. I'll run it by you.
The tyranny of clothes. The tyranny of clothes. All right, so yeah, find the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics and find it all at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. It's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right, Mr. Tyler Patrick, tell everyone about Krypton Report because that other maniac has 20 million plugs.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna, the Krypton Report and then just sign off because he'll be here for a while. You can find me at Krypton Report Podcast anywhere on social media, YouTube. We talk about Superman, go figure, and anything DC related. I'm trying to get my thing here. But yeah, just look for Krypton Report and you'll find me and my host, Mr. James Cole. He's not here with us because he's always out fighting crime.
Don't
let him fool you.
He's out there living the life of the Chuck Norris memes. All right, so yeah. Did you say you got to go? Yeah, the little woman's calling him. No, not the wife, his daughter.
Man.
We'll see you on Saturday, Tyler, for Batman.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Tyler's going to be joining me and Justin and Lilith on We Are the Night, the Batman podcast.
Yes.
Episode 200.
Yeah, episode 200.
We do a live watch of Batman 89, kids. So
I'm excited to see how that goes. So
yeah.
Yeah, remember to download the app. So
I will.
There you go. We can't show that on StreamYard, but I wonder if we tell people, if anybody watching wants to join us.
That's what I was telling Justin when I do live commentaries is we talk about before, but then tell everyone like where to stream it and then just kind of be like sync up, ready, everybody in 1, 2, 3.
I'm trying to remember how many people can be on a watch party because I don't be like, hey, if anyone else wants to watch with us, yeah.
What's funny is like there's been times where we've streamed live Saturday mornings with Superman where we're every Saturday morning at like 8:30, 9 a.m. We're watching an episode of Superman the Animated Series and James will have it on the TV behind him with no sound, but just the pictures and stuff. So we'll like use that as a marker for people. Guys are watching.
Charlie's do the opposite. You couldn't see the picture, but you could hear the audio. I'm like, turn the audio down.
So, but yeah, we'll. Sounds good.
All right. All right. So if you have to go, we'll see you Saturday.
See you guys Saturday.
Thank you, sir.
See you then.
Thank you.
All right. Now for this Justin the Owl.
Yes.
You can hear him here every so often on Electric Mullet, which he'll be here for a little bit because we got Skyhook and Maxima coming after Exile, so he's going to be here for a while.
I'm so excited.
You can hear him at least once a month on We Are the Night, the
Batman podcast,
which we talked about already. And again, usually end of the month for Azrael, but again, he'll drop in for other stuff like episode 200. So
yes,
there's 2 weeks in a row you'll be on. So
that's right.
And then
some more next year as well.
That's right. All right. And then over on Capes Lunatics, you can catch him on every week on Marvel Tales with me, talking some different Marvel story at least once a month. And that's going to be going up. X-Men Classics, where we talk all the X books. Oh, remind me to tell you something X related when we're done. And of course, once a month on Energon Universe with myself and Russell, talking all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe content. But I threw it up early. He does other podcasts. So, Justin, tell them about these other shows.
That's right. Over on Gamma Charge, every month you can join me and Russell and Josh as we discuss the Incredible Hulk and the Sensational She-Hulk. We also have a Patreon, so do check that out if you're so inclined. And over on Predator and Prey, we're actually recording a new episode of that tomorrow night. The full complement is going to be united to speak about the brand new Predator versus Black Panther #1. We're very excited about that. And over on my solo show, The Lost Library of Legends, I am doing a 3-part retrospective on a DC title from 2002 called The Power Company.
I'm going to eat this up with a fork and spoon.
And also in October, I should mention, Russell and I are planning on resurrecting our other show that we do, Gone the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me grab a handful of this. Oh, that's naughty. I love it.
All right, kids.
Tap, tap, tapping my way downtown.
That Action Comics annual. All right. Thank you for joining us again. We'll wrap up Exile next week, and we'll kind of wrap up Matrix for a while in 2 weeks.
Yes. Well, sort of.
That's it. I said for a while.
Yes.
That damn Eradicator. And again, kids, about 90% less Lex next time.
Yes. Thankfully. No hostile takeovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we'll get back to that psionics lab, but again,
Yeah. One of them, yeah.
Yeah. Coming up here soon. All right, kids. So remember, come back next time. Join us for truth, justice, and the mullet way.
And gladiator straps.
Oh, my.